Alright, dickheads, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? What the fuck? What is artwod? Jesus Christ, the stuttering. Artwod is the best platform in the world for learning how to draw from imagination, where they give you the work, not the shortcut. Work that lets you fucking, Jesus Christ, allow you to draw like this, right? All about forms, learning how to draw simple forms, manipulate these forms, right? To create things that are believable. I'm Viggy, I've been drawing for 3 years and 7 months, and this channel is a repository of my practice to one, prove that anybody can draw, and two, prove that the fundamentals are literally the most important thing, right? Line, form, and perspective being the foundation, and then everything going off of that, right? Clearly, I don't understand texture, line weight, composition, design, right? Fucking being a good person, right? But I can make things look believable, and it's all because of Artwod. So go to Artwod, because they literally will give you the exercises for you to work your fucking ass off on, if you know how to actually practice, which I hope you will. I don't know where I'm going with this. Fucking get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Either way, Artwod is the fucking goat, alright? And we're practicing portraits. The Artwod roadmap, right? Jesus Christ, hold up, I'm moving my chair, bro. This is a wonderful intro. This is fucking, bro, this chair is moving me all over the place. Oh my god, I don't know if anybody can hear it. But yeah, I did not want to draw today. It's literally 12:30 at midnight, right? Past midnight, and I was mostly out today, and I told myself I'll draw when I get home. Guess what happens when you get home? You don't feel like drawing, right? You just want to eat and sleep. And I've eaten, and I want to sleep, and yet I'm here because I need to earn my sleep. I need to work hard enough to earn my sleep. What is earning my sleep? Practicing intensive cognitive reasoning, right? Spatial reasoning, cognitive effort, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. Please get your pen, get your paper, and draw along with me. But yeah, what are we doing? We're doing the Artwod portrait roadmap. I'm looking at a portrait reference. I'm encompassing the reference in a box. I'm putting a sphere inside the box. I'm putting center lines inside the sphere inside the box. I'm putting center lines, diagonal, vertical, and horizontal on every single visible plane. I'm seeing through the form and putting the diagonal, horizontal, and vertical center lines, right, on the seen through forms as well. Yeah, well, it's all this fuckery. I'm literally just, when I say I'm putting, what I mean is I'm visualizing and calculating this in my mind, right? So I have a reference here, and let's get started, because this is the foundation of which, like, this is what I'm gonna spend the next 100 hours creating as my mental model, because art is a thinking skill, right? Art is a thinking skill. I want to say that again, just so you really understand it. Art is a thinking skill. So for those of you who draw along with me, right, you need to be able to understand how much you need to think in order to be able to apply, right? If you find yourself in discomfort and you're like, I'm really struggling to figure it out, you need to be in that place more, right? And you need to find that balance between being in that place and putting down the mark. For me, the balance right now is heavily skewed towards not making the mark, but more so ghosting and visualizing, because I'm literally doing 40 calculations, right? I think 35 to 40 calculations in my mind, right? And then the face is just the mark that I'm making while holding this foundation in my mind. For you, if you're practicing spheres or practicing simpler shapes, right? For you, the foundation will probably be the box, and then I don't know, and this is just me giving an example, right? You're like, okay, I need to envision a plane. That's really fucking hard. I have to envision a plane, okay, and then I have to put a sphere, or sorry, an ellipse inside that plane. Okay, and then it's like, okay, what do I think? Okay, I want to make this sphere multiple rounded, right? I want to make the sphere multiple rounded. I really have to think about that. Really have to think about the box and everything. Okay, what do I want to go from here? Maybe I want to add some sort of manipulation inside of this, right? And if you're not even capable of doing this, that means you have a lot more opportunity to think, right? Maybe you want to add a manipulation, something like this. Why is the pen working now? This pen was fucking dog shit all of yesterday, and now it feels like working, right? And then this is just how we go, right? And this will take you likely a lot of thinking, right? And then you're like, all right, fuck it, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let me make, like, I don't know, another cylinder, right? Let's make it jut out. I'm thinking. By the way, I'm doing this fast, but this will likely take you fucking 5 times as long if you're not as skilled as I am, right? Just like it will take me 5 times as long to draw something that somebody who's more skilled than me is. I'm just assuming that the vast majority of people who draw along are not as skilled as me, because why the fuck would you be watching somebody who's worse than you, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to learn from people who aren't as quote-unquote adept, right? But at the same time, I don't think I have anything to offer to people who are better than me, because they already know what to do, right? And then you're like, okay, I want to draw some boxes on top of this, whatever. The design went to shit, whatever. But the point is, you see how there's a lot less thinking going on here, because it's quote-unquote just, still very difficult, but it's just the box, and then envisioning the plane and the manipulations inside of it. Very difficult, by the way. I know it's not just, but I'm just saying, like, that is... For you, that's probably the amount of thinking that you're doing, but for me, there's a lot more fucking thinking going on. I don't know what point I'm trying to make. See, I'm tired already. Let's just fucking draw. Let's just draw. So I'm already looking at the what's it called? I'm looking at the reference. I'm trying to think about the box because I need to, again, like right now, what I'm doing is I'm thinking about the box. And I'm trying to see through the entire form of the box, right? And I've got it in my mind right now. I've got it vaguely right now. Vaguely, I'm trying to really fucking visualize seeing through the form, and not just seeing through the form, by the way. I'm trying to visualize seeing every single plane of the box visible that's invisible, and then seeing the cross contour lines as well, right? Like these lines, this diagonal, this vertical, on every single visible plane and invisible plane. Again, we're building a mental model that's extremely difficult to build, right? So that's where the growth happens. Like that's literally where the growth happens. So right now, while you're not seeing me do much, right, I am, and again, I love these fucking angles because this woman's face is tilted like this. It's tilted like this, right? And then the box is something like this, right? And that's something I need to visualize, right? That is something I need to visualize as a proper box, but on this scale and seen through, you know? Fucking this is pissing me off. Let's just finish this. There you go. I don't know if that made that better or worse. But there you go. Some sort of design. You can see it's actually off center. Fuck. Just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. God damn it. Fuck this. Fuck this. Just leave it. I'm not even trying, and yet it's fucking annoying me. Okay. Oh, but yeah, like, again, drawing is thinking, right? And there's one thing. The funny thing is, like, I saw somebody on Instagram basically do this. They literally drew this, and they're like, this is how you draw a portrait, right? Like, and then so many people are like, wonderful, thank you, this is helpful. But obviously, as with beginners, i.e. people, and not just beginners, sorry, but i.e. as with the specific types of beginners, right, i.e. those who are essentially have the mindset of mediocrity. And while I'm talking, I'm thinking, while I'm thinking, I'm drawing, and while I'm drawing in my mind, my parietal lobe is being excessively taxed, right? I want to be very clear, my parietal lobe is being extremely taxed, not parietal lobe, sorry, prefrontal cortex. As you can see, today's a very difficult day for me. I can't fucking speak properly, and I can't think properly either. What else is fucking new? just like any other day, seemingly, right? But I'm really trying to see through the form, and her ear is actually a lot more angled. See, I thought it was like this. It's actually a bit more, yeah, it's a lot more, it's a wider degree. It's a wider degree, and I'm just looking at the reference there, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, please draw along, because like there's nothing of value here, but use me as body doubling, right? Draw along, keep it on the background, give me retention, all that good shit, right? But, and hopefully me explaining this gives you some sort of solace that this dickhead is also struggling quite a bit right now, quite a fucking bit, to see this properly. But again, I'm drawing this Y, right? This X, Y, Z, right? That's the box I'm trying to envision. I'm really trying to see through it properly, and I can't see shit right now. I'm telling you right now, I can't see shit, but bless me, that's what I need to really envision. And the thing is, like, I just need to force my brain. It's so much of this, like, visualization, however we visualize, because everybody visualizes differently, but so much of it is just forcing your fucking brain. You're willing nothing into something on a 2D plane. You're not willing nothing onto something, Jesus Christ. You're willing something onto nothing. You're willing something three-dimensional, right? With logic, with spatial reasoned, right? With the spatial reasoning occurring onto a 2D plane, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. Again, what am I thinking of? I'm really trying to get the perspective accurate, but it's not just getting the perspective accurate, not less than. It's not just about getting the perspective accurate. It's also about getting the proportion and seeing through the form. Right now, I'm trying really fucking hard to see the entire box in the correct perspective and see through the form. And then on top of that, I'm trying to see the diagonal, the vertical, the horizontal, the diagonal, the vertical, the horizontal. And my mind is essentially combusting right now because I'm taxing my working memory, because spatial reasoning is working memory taxation. I'm going to keep saying that for as long as I have to, but spatial reasoning is working memory taxation. And I'm making this mark right now to establish my perspective. Right, that's what the point of this mark is to establish my perspective, right? And this also helps me to think about the fact that I do want this box to have its own convergences, or like more, not own convergences, of course the box has its own convergences. I want the box to have very specific, very noticeable, not very, but noticeable enough convergences. This is not enough, this is not enough, these were okay. I think this was my best one. This is definitely my best one, right? But it also needs to be accurate, right? Right now, I'm pretty sure we see, and I need to zoom out a little bit, I'm pretty sure we see more of the side plane than we do the front plane, right? But that doesn't mean suddenly the front plane is... Oh, and this, see, like right now, I immediately just made the horizon line here. So I need to think about the horizon line being here, because the horizon line is here, right? At least in the sense that, like, the box has its, the perspective the fucking head is in with the box has its own horizon line, because it's tilted upwards, and then her neck has her own horizon line, right? So This is the beauty of fucking perspective and draftsmanship, bro. Like today, again, I'm struggling so hard. This is gonna be my life for hundreds of hours, right? This is the reality. This is the reality, and I have to keep reminding myself that this is the reality of trying to be anything, right? This is just the reality of trying to be anything halfway decent, right? And this is actually a much larger box than what I'm used to, because you can see this line is about this big, but that's literally about a solid 25% larger than what this is. So like the larger something is, the harder the scale is to envision as well, right? But this is, again, like before I rest my brain, I'm gonna fucking try my hardest to see the entire box. Ignore these dots as well, because like this is way too far. Oh fucking Jesus Christ. I hope that didn't hurt your throat, but it hurt your ears, but probably did. Something got caught in my throat, probably dick, but holy shit, I had chicken earlier, and it was not spicy, but it did have spices, and probably got caught in my throat, but what was I saying? Like, yeah, the larger the scale is, the harder it is to envision. What I'm gonna do right now before I rest my brain is try extremely hard, and I mean extremely hard, to see the entire box, and to see the entire box in the accurate perspective, and in the appropriate proportion, and then to see like every single plane, right? And then to see the convergences as well, because I want there to be noticeable convergence here, here, and here. Sorry, here, and here, because it's going upwards, right? So I want the top vanishing points here, right? For the y-axis, I believe, right? And this is the z-axis because it's projecting outwards, right? That's what gives it the depth. And this is the x-axis, the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's fucking x and y, right? In the bar graph, and this is z. I don't fucking know, but either way, I'm gonna try my hardest to see the entire thing, and then to see, I'm trying my hardest to see the visible planes, and I'm trying my hardest to see the invisible planes as well, right? As in, like, what is on the other side of this plane, what is on the other side of this plane, what is on the other side of this plane. I'm trying really fucking hard, really genuinely really hard to see all of that, and now I'm trying, just as one last step to really tax my working memory, I'm gonna try my absolute hardest to see the cross sections, diagonal, vertical, horizontal of every single visible and invisible plane. And this, my god, this is actually taxing my brain so much, and this is exactly what I want, because it's not about seeing it exactly, it's about thinking about it, right? Right now I'm just taxing my brain trying to think about the fact that it exists. Like everything, these 6 planes, visible and invisible, with their diagonal, vertical, and horizontal cross sections exist, right? And I need to calculate that and to be aware of the fact that I'm trying to calculate it as well. And this is really taxing my brain because art, what the fuck? Drawing is a working memory skill, right? And you can see, like, the more I think, the more I'm actively struggling, right? The more I'm verbally narrating what I'm trying to think about, the more my speech gets slurred, the more my ability to hold this gets affected. And there you go. I've taxed my brain, right? We hit output regression, which is essentially trying to hit the fucking ceiling of the astrocytic glycogen that's being used, right? From our prefrontal cortex. The astrocytic glycogen is what the fuck is it? It's the fucking energy resource of our brain, right? Glucose. So TLDR, I used my brain energy a lot. I thought a fucking lot. I tried to visualize and think about as much as I could. I tried to hold it in my mind for as long as possible. I made hundreds of mistakes while doing it and kept trying to fucking regurgitate, oscillate, shift through those many calculations. Made dozens of mistakes while doing that. And then I pushed my brain to the brink, and now we're gonna rest it because now my brain's gonna play it at 20 times the speed backwards. Why backwards? We don't know, but this is called the gap effect. So rest your brain with me. All right, cool. That was good. That was really good. But again, that's why I really encourage everybody to draw along. Because from what I understand, the vast majority of the people who watch my content, you guys draw along, right? I'm gonna assume you draw along and that you're on the same path as me, which is you want to be excellent draftsmen, or at the very least, you want to be foundationally strong, right? So all I do is for me and you is to keep reminding ourselves what foundational strength entails, and that is sheer cognitive effort, right? That's it. And it is a very cheeky that's it, because it is not just it. It is hundreds and thousands of intentional effort, right? Intentional repetitions, right? Intentional failures to analyze and feel good about, and then try to course correct them by even 1%, 1 millimeter. I really can't speak. I'm not gonna apologize. That's who I am. But yeah, I really cannot speak. So I do apologize. This is who I am. Right. So Now I need to really think about the box that this woman's face is in, and I need to make sure the box is proportionally accurate, right? You're gonna see there's a much larger box than, and I'm putting my hand here and like the pen here to like, essentially this is a holding point, this is an anchor point, right? Because this is allowing me to anchor and to think about the entire box seen through, right? And to think about all the different convergences that are happening. And right now, this line already has like made it easier, right? Every line, before it starts becoming an obstruction, in the sense that like if you add all this shit afterwards, it's an obstruction, which is why I'm making things even harder, because I'm thinking about it, right? I'm thinking about it before I even put the line down. But every line is something that is anchoring you in terms of the draftsmanship. Like right now, what am I struggling with? Well, I'm struggling with seeing, I see the visible planes, I see this, right? I see 1, 2, 3, these planes, I see them relatively okay. I can kind of converge them properly, right? Maybe not too much, but what am I really struggling with is just seeing the other side, the opposite side, right? Like the invisible plane, right? That's something I'm struggling with a lot. So I need to keep holding that in my mind and then try to, and again, this is a different perspective. I haven't done this before. This is a completely new schema that I'm building, which is amazing, right? But I need to try to, I need to try to see that, right? So I'm really struggling with especially this top seen-through plane, like the one that's reflected here but invisible, and I'm really struggling with seeing the back one as well. So this top one that's invisible, and this back one that's this plane, and I know like you're not seeing anything, but I hope it's a bit clear, right? Like this plane, this front plane, I'm having trouble seeing through the back of it. I'm having trouble connecting it, right? And that's the other thing, is like, I need to be able to connect it relatively well. And I just thought of something, which is the fact that it's literally the upside down axis. If this is because Irshad Karim, the Uncomfortable, right, his alias, the creator of Drawbox, one thing that really like helped me a lot, I have a lot of qualms with Drawbox in general, right? But the concept and the way he teaches boxes, one thing that's always stuck with me is the why principle. Because this tells you X, Y, Z, and then this tells you like, hey, like I can connect these, right? I know I just did it very easily, quote unquote, like easily, but this took me fucking hundreds of hours to get down, right? Like to be able to do it to this level. I always like repeating this just so you understand that everything has intent behind it. It's not about me putting the work in, it's about that this has work put into it, because everybody who does this has work put into it, right? But that's one thing I really, really like. So I just realized that the same thing is if this Y is like this, it's literally just opposite. It's just upside down on the seen through end. And now that concept helps me a lot. When I think about it, it's like, oh shit, I just have to think about this Y, this X, Y, Z is opposite. So it's upside down. So that means there's a Y, right? There's an X. No, wait, no. See, but that's still hard. Like I'm not saying it's easy, but there's a Y, and then there's a Z. Yeah, I was right. Y, X, Z, right? It's upside down. And that is something that possibly I could utilize as a mental model, right? And again, it's all mental models. It's how we figure out these mental models, right? It's Antonio from Artwod always says when it comes to form, right? Not this specifically, but when it comes to understanding form and manipulating forms, it's like we analyze and understand and interpret and create our own puzzle pieces, right? The thing is, he's very nice. So he doesn't put in the fucking giant asterisk, which is through hundreds and thousands of repetitions and sheer intentional effort. I'm gonna put that giant asterisk because beginner dipshits need to know. By the way, I completely lost my train of thought when it comes to, and by the way, like I'm just gonna finish this XYZ, like I'm gonna finish this plane. So, and while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to zoom out and think a shit ton about the proportion of this box, the proportion in relation to the perspective of the box, as well as the seen through planes of the box itself, and the cross contours, this diagonal, this vertical, this horizontal, and then bring it through there. So I'm gonna try really fucking, and I'm also like gonna try to not just see the visible, but the invisible, right? The invisible, like what's seen through here, because I need to really, really, really consistently think about seeing through the forms, right? And again, drawing is thinking. Like the more I do this, the better I get at essentially anything that involves forms, right? I actually did some drawing earlier today, and I took a picture. It's nothing special, but I basically did like a creature design from my mind, right? From imagination. And oh shit, I just realized I completely got the perspective wrong, which is okay. Like that's how it is. But yeah, definitely, oh my god, her eyebrows are literally showing, Jesus Christ, my voice again. So as you can see, this dot, even though I said it wouldn't distract me, it did distract me because I got the perspective wrong, and it's what it is, right? But her eyebrows are literally like this. Her eyebrows fucking give me the perspective. They're like that. And yet I did this, right? This is the perspective, bro. This is the perspective. And yet I did this. So it's okay. Things happen, right? You make mistakes. Like this is actually more accurate, but this definitely is not. But either way, we have to bend. Now we still have to get the box down accurately, right? And we still have to get the perspective somewhat correct. But this is me, like again, while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to think about the box, and I'm trying to think about the convergence, right? So this I think should be a little bit larger. And not only am I trying to think about the box and the convergence, I'm really trying to see through the form as well, right? And I do believe this left side of the box is this is slightly larger. Like we do see more of this left plane than the right plane. Again, I will be struggling with this for the fucking ends of the earth, right? Like I'll always struggle with this to some degree, but I need to think about, and again, while I'm drawing this line, I'm really trying to think about the opposite plane. Am I succeeding? No, but I'm trying, yes, right? Also, I know I completely lost my train of thought when I was talking about, what's it called? The dude who was talking about, like, who drew portraits like this. And I definitely think I made this too large, actually. And it's because maybe I didn't foreshorten this enough. Like, this plane isn't small enough, right? So I'm actually going to cut this off here. And we are going to, and again, while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to think and see through the form, right? Like I'm really trying to see through the form. I'm really trying to see through it and see the cross contours to the best of my ability, right? And yeah, see, like there you go. This already helped, like, because again, like these aren't obstructions anymore because I'm just drawing the box, but this is already helping me see through the form. But the whole point is like I'm actively always trying to see through the form. Right, I know I'm going like 50 million tangents right now. That's just because my brain. See, like my brain is just a fucking overdrive, right? You can assume, apart from my my own fucking ineptitude when it comes to speaking clearly, and you can see like I'm not even connecting this properly, right? That I'm also like extremely overloaded. My brain, my working memory capacity is extremely overloaded, and you can see I didn't do this properly. I didn't converge this at all, like well enough, and this is actually converging well, but this isn't, right? And this is an okay box. This definitely could have been a better box, right? I actually have linked in the description now, if you see under my Lords and Saviors, the 3D model that I'm using to understand space and the box model that I'm using to understand the box in space as well. So like both of those are basically like what I'm constantly trying to think about when it comes to getting it accurately. And this already has helped me quite a bit because I see the wider angle here, because it is, again, the back plane is always wider than the front plane, right? Same with here. It's always wider, right? That doesn't mean it's larger, but it is always wider. And same with this, because it's converging more, right? It's converging much more. And I can see this now. Now that I have this box here, I can actually, of course, because the box is there, I can actually anchor my mind around the box that's been made and start seeing the center lines, right? This horizontal, this diagonal, this vertical, this horizontal. But I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I'll actually try to finish my fucking thought process on the Instagram reel that I saw. and then the beginners I want to bitch about, as always. But let me rest my brain, and I encourage you to do so as well. And I want to be very clear, I constantly lose the perspective. You can just presume, especially in this stage, and of course, as I get more competent, I will of course be explicitly clear as to what my level of competence that I believe is. But currently, right, like when I was here, I barely saw this box. Like before I even made these marks, I saw about 30% of this box and maybe about 10% of the other side. When I made this mark, I saw like 30 to 40% of all the different sides, right? And like 40% of the box, let's say 60% of the box. These are really rough numbers, but the point is, with each mark that was being made, I saw more of the box in and of itself and more of the seen through sides. Like right now, I can definitely see the seen through sides really clearly, maybe not incredibly accurately, but I can definitely see it a lot more clearly. And on top of that, now what's difficult is I need to fucking push my brain to the absolute extreme to see the cross contour, the center of the cross, basically this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and then on the other plane, on the other sides as well, like this back plane, this front plane projected back here, right, diagonal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, this bottom plane projected back here, diagonal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, right? And I see that when I look at them individually, by the way, I can calculate it pretty relatively accurately, and I do see through the form, right? I do see through the form, and now like I'm really trying to internalize that this right here, basically we have like this Y is what will allow me to see in combination with that, right? Like this y, something like this, right? Because that creates the box, right? And again, I don't think I'm doing it super accurately, but this is more so for me to understand that, like, hey, there is like this is another way that this is possibly a mental model that I can really internalize to create like a solid, because this can be chunked. Right now everything's super individual, like the individual planes, right? Like this, I guess you could say, is chunked together. And what I mean by this is like your working memory capacity only has about five to nine items, or like 4 to 9 items that it can hold in your mind at once, right? It gets more efficient at chunking, consolidating, and streamlining the information, right? But in the beginning, everything is an individual component. Like when you draw a line, right? In the beginning, this is like your motor skills, your fine lines, holding it, visualizing, and going it from point A to point B. That's like 5 different pieces of information that your brain has to hold, right? And over time, i.e. hundreds of fucking intentional repetitions, this just becomes one unit, which is a streamlined byte. Like it goes from being like it goes from being inefficient individual pieces of data to one mental model. I think that's the best way I can say it, right? So the mental model now is not line, visualize line, apply line, ghost line, think about point A to point B, really strain your mind to visualize the entire thing while you're applying it, right? Like make sure to like constantly aware of your where your hand is, and proprioception, awareness of your body and the space that it resides in while you're doing it, right? It goes from doing all of that and straining very, very, very drastically to effectively over time, i.e. hundreds of repetitions, resting during your practice, resting after your practice, using the space effect, playing it all backwards, getting sleep. Through that, it consolidates that entire fucking paragraph into make the line, right? i.e. all that information is condensed into one efficient unit, right? One efficient unit, one efficient synapse. Like this is obviously very fucking bro sciencey. It's probably not just one. It's probably like a circuit or like a fucking network of synapses that are strengthened and more efficient. But the point is, right? I don't know why I said point like that, but the point is, that's what I was trying to say is like this can be a new mental model for me that I can make essentially like into a chunked piece of information. Because right now these planes in the back are individual components, right? They're individual units, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? This front one is a chunked unit because I've been drawing the front and I've been understanding the visible planes very well, but I have not been understanding the invisible planes very well, right? But now this mental model of being like, hey, this XYZ, it's just reversed on the invisible side, and that can be an anchor point as well, right? But what I wanted to say is like, apart from the fact that me being able to draw this box clearly and being able to see the other side well, means that there's more I can lean into. Because right now what I need to really lean into while I'm saying this is being able to see, yeah, all the cross sections, right? And that is the next step to tax my working memory. So there's always next steps we can take. What the fuck? Next steps we can take to tax our working memory to the absolute fucking max, right? Like to the absolute extreme, because that is what we want. That is what I want. That is what we should do. That is what we must do if we are trying to become excellent draftsmen. So while I'm putting my pen here, this is an anchor point for this entire this back plane, and this back plane, this back plane, and this back plane. So like this one projecting out, this one projecting out, this one projecting out, right? But now, like, I also need to take a step back and not use this anchor point because this is cheating, right? The ghosting is the bridge between your parietal lobe and your motor cortex and your prefrontal cortex. So I also need to train seeing that, and I just did for a second. Just for a second, I saw all planes. But this is without the cross sections, by the way, right? Just holding this in my mind without using my motor, using ghosting or just my pen as like the bridge between my prefrontal cortex and my motor cortex, right? Now like I visualize it pretty well, and now the next most difficult step is me seeing all the cross contours, right? Cross contours or cross sections, sorry, cross contour is not the appropriate terminology, cross sections, right? And I'm fucking struggling super hard to see all of it, but slowly but surely, right? And don't call me Hurley, bless me, that was a shit joke, but it's also from Airplane, so maybe it's not a shit joke, it was just a shit application of that joke, but maybe I'm just shit. Anyways, Jesus Christ, but I'm really trying to hold and visualize every single cross section. And I'm telling you right now, it's flickering all over the place. It's like here, like it's all over the place. But the point is to create a mental model that fuses it, right? We want a mental model that absolutely fuses the fuck out of it into one consolidated chunk. And that is extremely taxing for my working memory. And I'm just trying to lean into it right now because this is the discomfort that we have to lean into to the absolute max. Like this is the discomfort that must be leaned into, right? So I'm just trying to zoom out. I'm trying to zoom my eyes out like completely to just the entire box, and then to just see every single fucking diagonal, vertical, horizontal, and every single visible and invisible plane, right? And just for a split second, not even, for a bit longer, I can just about calculate it decently. But the most important thing is being able to see the center planes as well. So I need to really, 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 really think about that. What I mean by that is like this center plane, right? This center plane. And then what the fuck is the other one? This center plane. Like I struggle with holding all of that as well. And I just lost it because once I have to think about those three center planes, that like as like also their individual components, because we have to put ellipses inside that, right? My brain just dies. I do really apologize for speaking fast, but I'm just a fast speaker. And like the more intensive cognitive spatial reasoning, the more cognitive effort that I'm putting in, the trend seems to be for me personally that I'm just speak faster because I'm like trying to keep up with my own fucking efforts, like mentally speaking, right? But okay, let me rest my brain now. That was very difficult. watch a dickhead fucking yell at a piece of paper for 45 minutes, an hour straight, right? So enlightening, but hopefully it gives you some information that you can apply to yourself. Rest your brain, motherfucker. Thank you. All right, wunderbar. You see, 31 minutes and I've drawn a box, but 31 minutes and I've done hundreds of repetitions and trying to hold a complex mental model in my mind, right? A foundational spatial reasoning engine, right? In which everything will lay on top of. Again, this is 90% of my practice, not just this, but you can see on my fucking channel, it's all fundamentals leading up to this, all sequential, all playlisted in the years as well as the series themselves, right? But this very clearly is 90% of my practice, which results in the ability to create believable forms like this, without much thought to the actual form and spatial reasoning itself, but with more cognitive effort being directed towards the other fundamentals, such as design, composition, line weight, texture, all which are fucking garbage, gesture as well, all which are fucking garbage, but it's believable, right? And this, it frees up the mental capacity, the fucking intensive cognitive effort that you put towards your fundamentals will result in foundations which allow you to experiment more freely and to actually create the believable forms which create the art that you are looking to create, right? Or which establish the foundation for the art that you're looking to create, right? So, i.e., I do 90% intensive work, cognitive work, 10% play regarding spatial reasoning, but still a lot of cognitive work regarding all the other fundamentals I mentioned, right? Like there's a lot of thought into every single one of these, but again, I wasn't thinking much about the spatial reasoning aspect, the believable space, the believable form aspect, because I do so much work that is actually building foundational spatial reasoning skills. And you might be wondering, how the fuck is this building foundational spatial reasoning skills? Well, again, we are creating a mental model that is accurate to life, right? That is geometrically, spatially reasoned as accurately as I can possibly do it, right? See, like I'm looking here and seeing through this form, I'm literally I'm calculating space, right? I'm calculating space. This back plane that's invisible, this here, anchored here, over here, diagonal, vertical. The vertical comes down here, comes over here, all right? Now there's an ellipse in there, right? Same thing, comes here, ellipse in here, right? Say, oh, what else? Fucking this way, right? This way, this one, ellipse in there, right? And then I have to hold those three planes together, which I can't do, by the way. Like I struggle with it a lot because that's an intensive another layer, because I'm already struggling with seeing all the cross axes connecting together, because that's individual chunks right now, right? But the reason this is the foundation which creates my ability to draw space as well as I can currently, not well, but as well as I can currently, right? With the fidelity that you see, is because I improve my ability to understand space and calculate space and reason space, right? And depth, and it's a mental model that you're creating. I don't know how else to say it, right? But again, the better you understand space, the more liberty you have to play with space, right? There's no other way around it when it comes to draftsmanship. There's literally no other way around it. And that should be very, very encouraging to you, because that means there's a very straightforward path. Your path will have nuances, blah, 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 whatever, right? Mine did too. You can see, like, I kept going around trying to figure out how to do the fundamentals, but at the end of the day, my fundamentals were always my practice, right? And while I'm talking, I'm fucking thinking extremely intensively looking here, because I'm thinking, right? And this is a skill as well. My parietal lobe is in conflict with my prefrontal cortex, which is in conflict with the amount of glycogen that my brain can use towards these two areas of my brain. Yet, for you, the viewer, for you motherfucker, all for you, I am narrating my entire cognitive process, so you never have to wonder what an artist is thinking when they become and are on the path towards excellence, towards mastery. All right, every single thing that I can possibly muster to explain to you in an eloquent and proficient and articulate manner, I will do so. Like the fact that right now I'm looking and I'm trying to see through the form, I'm trying to calculate every single plane, but I'm struggling immensely because when I calculate this plane, this seen through plane, and the vertical, the horizontal, the diagonal, I don't see this one, I don't see this one, I see the bottom one, the front one a little bit, and the side one not really, right? So there's the other part, which is the fact that, and you might be wondering, is he speaking on 2 times speed? No, the video is not on 2 times speed. This is just how I speak, right? Because I know how fast I'm talking, right? But I'm just trying to get everything out there while thinking fucking intensively. But let me slow down. On the topic, on the topic of chunked information, right now my brain, and individual units, right? When it comes to working memory, right now my brain views this center, like all these individual center lines and cross axes, like per plane they're chunked, but overall they're individual as per the box. Does that make sense? Like each plane, like this, right? Like each plane, whatever fucking perspective we're seeing it in, whether it's seen through or not, right? Like each plane, right, is an individual chunked component currently for my working memory. But the entire box seen through with all of these cross sections, right, are not chunked. So they're individual components of, they're chunked within their own calculations, but they're individual units or individual components for the overall box, right? Which is why my brain really struggles with seeing the center plane for every single axis, right? For this y-axis, for this z-axis, right? For or is this x-axis? I don't fucking know. For like, yeah, whatever. This vertical axis, this part of the plane. It's all fucking 3D, right? So this length, this width, right, and then this height, I guess you could say, right? Like, but it really struggles to see them all connected together because, and right now, just for a second, I saw all the axis, I saw all the connections, I saw all the seen through forms, and then I saw this center line, just for a second, right? And that's the next step, right? Which is I need to lean the fuck into, so you see how there's steps. First is just a box and trying to see through the form. Then it's trying to see the box, the seen through forms, and then all the cross sections. And then it's trying to see the box, the seen through forms, the cross sections. And on top of that, the center lines, the intersecting center planes, sorry, not the center lines, right? The intersecting center planes connected. Like this is what my brain is trying to see right now. So there's all this fuckery. And then inside that, I'm trying to understand and calculate this fuckery, right? Like that fuckery, and this fuckery. See? Like, and this vertical one right here, like I don't ever practice. I've only ever done this horizontal and this vertical. I've never done essentially like what is the depth, right? And practicing the forward-facing plane, right? The forward-facing center plane. So, beautiful fucking struggle. And on top of that, this is just the next step. The next step after that is seeing the fucking ellipse inside all of them. Right? It's seeing the ellipse inside all of them. And then the next step after that is finally connecting the edges to get my sphere. And that is the mental model. It's this. It's so fucking beautifully hard, right? And let me actually get to the topic, because, okay, before I say what I'm about to say and like go on my tangent, just know that I'm going on a tangent while drastically fucking killing my brain. Like I'm literally trying to completely tax my working memory while speaking about something completely unrelated. This is extremely difficult. I would encourage you to understand the level of difficulty that I'm experiencing right now, to while you're drawing and actively thinking about spatial reasoning, to just talk about anything, to even say 5 sentences, right? And you'll see that it's very difficult, right? And if you're better than me at that, wonderful. You have a proclivity towards narration while spatial reasoning, and you can lean into that and become an engineer, a visual observer of your own mind, right? But yeah, right now, while I'm trying to visualize everything, let me just bitch about the thing I was trying to bitch about, which is the fact that this man put a nice post being like, hey, this is how you literally draw the fucking skull, which was, or the face, right? The Loomis head, which is he put the box, he put the sphere inside of it, he put all the center lines, he cut out the fucking side of the sphere, right? Which I haven't even done yet, but he cut this out, right? He did this cut out, and technically there's like a little cutout there too, right? And then like he did the box, he did this, right? He put all that shit in there. He did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. He did all that shit. He put the center lines for the ellipse. And then he did this, right? For the Loomis head. He's like, whoop. And then that's how you draw the Loomis head. And then half the comments were like, crazy. This is amazing. Like, thank you. Like, this actually, like, this is exactly like what I needed. The other half, the dipshits, as you will say, right? The mediocre mindset learners, right? The beginners who will be stuck in perpetual beginner hell, right? I've noticed a lot of, something a lot about these people is the fact that, like, they say they want to get good, but they don't want to get good. They want to get good without putting the work in, which is the fucking retarded and antithesis of getting good, right? Getting good requires hundreds of hours of sacrificing your own fucking ego, right? To get good, right? Like, that is it, to actually put in the work to understand where you are shit and to constantly be less shit, right? Not understanding is the name of the game, and the die you roll is attempting to understand. You know, that's literally it. You know, if that's a frame that helps you, you know, great. But not understanding is the name of the game, right? And you play it by trying to understand, you know, and that goes with any fucking skill, you know. And I feel amazing right now because I'm struggling and I'm in output regression and I can barely see through the other side of the forms and I can barely see the cross section. And right now, okay, just for a second, before I finish what I was about to say, because I didn't even start it, wonderful, right? I never fucking finished what I'm trying to say. But right now, just for a second, I need to really, and my mind is creating this bottom line, like this center, for the center point, right? This bottom line's diverging completely outward this way. And I need to be like, shut the fuck up, you're going this way, you're following it. But my mind, just for a split second, I need to really hold in these three planes, like really hold in these three planes, right? And I need to see through the planes as well while I'm holding them, and I can't. I'm telling you right now, and this is why ghosting comes in handy, because I literally cannot, right? I literally cannot, and yet I will continue to persist to do so, right? That is all I can do, is I cannot, but I will continue to try to do, you know? And through this sheer effort and constantly taxing my working memory and feeling good, through the sheer effort and the sheer mistakes that I'm making, my brain will build the mental model over hundreds of hours of repetition, right? Hundreds of hours of repetition. I willingly subject myself to this mental friction as often as possible, as consistently as possible, for as many hours as possible on a fucking daily basis, right? Or a five hour a week basis, right? And this is why, with only essentially drawing fundamentals 5 hours a week, I can do this. Again, this is nothing special, but I want to be very clear. Like, the forms look believable and perhaps even intricate because of the intensive work that I've done towards spatial reasoning. But let me rest my brain again. Jesus Christ, bro. No, actually, I'm gonna lean in just a little bit more before I rest my brain, because I need to experience that sheer discomfort, right? My goal is literally sheer discomfort, is to be in as much discomfort as possible, right? And I'm gonna take my pen away. I'm gonna try to visualize this as much as I can. Right? Try to visualize the center plane, try to visualize this center plane, try to visualize this center plane. And this is the hardest one. Again, the forward-facing center plane, right? Or the front-facing planes projected outward center plane. But this, oh my God, this is so incredibly difficult. But my brain, dude, like, I can't even explain this. It's just sheer discomfort and sheer friction, right? Extremely taxing to my working memory. And it's not even seeing anything. It's just trying to fathom the fact that there are three center planes that must be a chunked component. This is the schema that I'm trying to build as well. Like, another, you know, a sub-schema within the main, like, fucking gigantic schema here is the fact that this center plane and this center plane and this center plane need to be a chunked unit. They need to be three intersecting planes that my brain consolidates as one piece of information, which will free up cognitive energy for the next task, which is putting the ellipses inside of them, right? And seeing that as a chunked piece of information, and which will free up cognitive energy for the next task, which is creating the sphere that essentially sees this entire fuckery of three planes intersected together with the ellipses inside them intersected together, and then being like, oh yeah, I can easily just draw a sphere inside this. That is the difficulty of the task. And my fucking head's warm now, and I feel pressure and it hurts. Which means, we rest our brain. Please rest your brain as well. Man, I hate how my voice sounds. I hate fucking how my voice sounds in recordings. I'm so nasally. Why do I talk like this? I don't know how to draw lines like that. I don't know what shapes to use. Classic Eminem, which I just stole, right? Not even that good, too. At least my version, but, okay, before I continue, and while I'm talking, I'm gonna not vaguely, but I'm gonna still put effort into see all the different cross sections and the see-through lines and like the vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and all that shit. Actually, fuck it, I'm just gonna go balls to the wall while I talk about this, right? But basically, everybody, like, half the people on that Instagram post who, like, basically was saying, like, you know, this is how you draw the head, Loomis head, this is how you see the space and all that shit, right? Half the people were like, I ain't doing all that work. That's too much work. It ain't that deep, bruv, right? And the author was trying to, like, I could tell he was getting kind of annoyed because he replied to basically most of them being like, yes, it is. Like, yes, you can do the work. Like, yes, it is that deep, actually. And a bunch of people obviously, like, jumped in and be like, yes, it is. If you, stay, like, fucking, then don't do it, right? Like, but, like, this is the work that it takes. And this is what I want to say, right? A mediocre mindset begets mediocre practice, mediocre actions, mediocre results. I don't like focusing on the results. I don't like talking about the results because the results are not what matters, but mediocre efforts, right? Mediocre mindsets result in mediocre efforts. And a mediocre mindset is one that believes that the work is not required to be done, right? Like we have to be honest with ourselves. Am I doing the work? Am I putting in the effort that will beget, for fancy words, right? That will provide, that will bring about the type of person I want to be. And that is the only result I'll ever speak of, is the type of person you become, the iron mind you build. And I'm using the word iron mind in a dramatized fashion to make the point that seeing space is difficult. Seeing space proficiently is highly difficult. Seeing space proficiently with a level of depth that takes that is considered to be excellent draftsmanship, if not masterful draftsmanship, is a level of difficulty that most cannot fathom, right? I'm 3 years and 7 months into my approach towards excellent draftsmanship, right? 3 years and 7 months. I don't know if this is good progress, by the way. I don't know if this is good progress, but what I do know is that it is a sheer, honest reflection of my efforts, and that's all it ever will be. That's all. Whatever you make, whatever skill set you have, it's just a reflection of your efforts, right? And that should never demotivate you. It should enlighten you and help let you know that means I can just put more effort in, get more out of, per unit of time, per fucking, I don't know, brain unit of effort, whatever the fucking quotient. There's probably some sort of calculation for that shit, right? But I guess that's all I can say, is just the fact that do not have a mediocre mindset. If you want to, and it's also about, do I want to be really that good? Like, how good do you actually want to be? I'm aiming for my as much of a master I can absolutely be in my lifetime. That is what I'm aiming for. Excellent draftsmanship, right? To become the best, the absolute fucking best that I can be, but within the time that I give it, which is roughly 5 to 7 hours a week, right? Roughly. That is the reason, the reality of it. So I focus on the things that matter and that only matter, which is form, which is line, which is perspective, which is manipulation, which is seeing space at such an intimate geometric level that the dividends that will pay down the line when it comes to understanding space and applying and learning anything else will be so exponentially large that it will prove more than ever, once and for all, that space is king and understanding space is king, right? Or queen, right? For my 2 female followers. So if you're a hashtag ViggyFammer, I hope you already get it by now that we don't chase mediocrity, or at the very least, whatever we do chase, we will 100% internalize and understand that it is a reflection of our efforts. Right now, the reflection of my effort is that I cannot see these center planes because I'm not trying hard enough to consistently conceptualize these center planes. But now that I'm in extreme discomfort and extreme friction. But that is good. This place right here, where I'm in extreme friction, where I can only see the front. I can only see the front plane, the front lines of the center plane, the front lines of the center plane, and the front lines of this center plane, right? And trying to see through, right, to the opposite side of the form while holding it all together is, dude, my brain feels an intense pressure, but this effort is what will beget hundreds of hours later the benefit of having an extremely fused mental model which can see through any form, right? That is what the benefit is that I'm looking for. And right now I'm constantly oscillating between this front-facing plane's center plane projected outward, and then trying to hold this side ones as well, and then the bottom ones. I'm constantly oscillating between the 3, and I'm trying to at as much as I can, I'm trying to hold it all together, right? And I can't. Can't yet. That's always the word. I can't yet, right? But it is, fuck me, my head keeps hitting the camera. But it is extremely difficult, but because I'm constantly trying, my brain will figure out, and I feel good about this. I'm attaching dopamine to it. I'm just fucking sending waves of to my body, right? For lack of a better word, or no word at all, clearly just moaning noises, right? Kimochi, nice, right? But I'm fucking trying to the absolute best of my ability, and this will tell my brain, you need to figure this out. You need to consolidate this information. You need to put energy towards this and learning this in the background, right? And yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say, apart from what I'm doing right now, which is just killing my brain, right? It's just Do not be like the people. I would highly implore you. I can't tell you what to do, although I'm fucking demanding it. But I can only implore that you are realistic with the type of effort that you're putting in and what it will get you. This does not mean you immediately try to do what I'm doing. I want to be very clear. If you cannot do even half of this type of calculation, then that that is fucking hard enough for you. That is the point where you put your efforts in. I want to be very clear because like, I know I'm gonna get to a point where I'm really fucking good and people are gonna hold on to my words. It's just inevitable, right? I'm just gonna get, over the years and years and years, I'm gonna get really, really good. People are gonna hold on to my words. So I need to promote the right mindset. And the right mindset is what I'm working on right now that is foundationally helpful to my skills, right? That is helpful foundationally, that is the fundamentals, right? And will completely make the fortress of proficiency that I'm building, right, larger and larger throughout the years and the decades. What I'm working on of that one brick right now, of that fortress, is what I need to put my fucking all into. So that one brick of yours can just be, quote unquote, just be lines, right? Horizon line, 1 vanishing point, 2 vanishing point, 3 vanishing points, right? Multiple forms in the same perspective, multiple forms in different positions in the same perspective, manipulating multiple forms, manipulating one form with many manipulations on top of it, whatever the fuck it is. And this is why I tell you, just go to fucking artwod, bro. Just go to artwod. They will give you the step-by-step everything. Everything is there. And you just have to do 100 times the work they tell you to. That's it. You just have to do 100 times. And that really isn't that difficult in terms of just committing to it, because you're capable of it. The only difficulty is the expectations you have that it won't take that fucking long, or that much work. Sorry, not that long, because it will take long no matter what, right? But the only difficulty is, from what I can tell of beginners, is they do not believe or understand the actual amount of work that it requires. And I'm telling you, it is not only the amount of work that you can't believe that it requires, it is 10 times more than that. But artwod will literally give you it, because that's what I did. This is all artwod. This is me just going on the fucking artwod path. And it's path. Anyways, can't speak. I'm getting fucking hyped up for no reason. No, there is a reason, because I'm very passionate about beginners learning well and having a good mindset, because I was a fucking beginner and I wanted to learn how to learn well, and I went through sheer cognitive distress, and I had to reframe my mindset to turn the distress into effort that is enjoyed, right? And it's a mindset that you actively practice until it becomes fused. Just like the mental model for this will become fused over hundreds of hours, the mindset will become fused in a part of your psyche and your persona over hundreds of hours, right? So yeah, that's all I can tell you is, as a hashtag ViggyFammer, you fucking try hard, you're realistic with where your trying hard is taking you and what your current trying hard takes you as well, the direction it's taking you in, and whether it is aligned with what you actually want to achieve. If it is, fucking keep going. You clearly know what you need to keep working on, what you need to keep pushing, how you need to keep improving yourself, how to keep analyzing, right? Wonderful. But if you're realizing, or you have a sneaking suspicion that, hey, perhaps the efforts that I'm directing will not get me to the level of proficiency that I desire, and perhaps I'm not doing as much work as I believe, and I'm not being as patient with myself with the work as I believe, or that I did not know I need to be, go to artwod. Again, artwod, the reason I show them is they give you the work, not the shortcut. That's their slogan, and I love it. But they also give you the liberty to not think about what the fuck you're gonna practice. Your only job is to think while practicing as much as you can, and do 100 times the work that they give you. That's it. Everything else is just like a fucking jizz on a platter, bro. You just lick that shit up and you're Gucci. You get that protein, all right? But seriously, okay? Every single one of you is capable. Now that I've done fucking masturbating to my own to my own motivation, let's start adding the ellipses. Right, I have to do that with a deep voice. Let's start adding the ellipses. That actually never gets, like, that voice that I do, it never gets picked up on by this new mic that I've had for the past half a year now, right? It seems to really suppress any loud noise or some sort of decibel, like some sort of tone. But anyways, my brain is struggling a fuck ton to see 3. It only ever sees 2. I only ever see this, and then this, like this one, right? Seen through, or I only ever see this and this one seen through. It's so hard to see the third. And that's why I just need to tell my brain to shut the fuck up and just think about it. But now I have to think about the ellipse. We have to think about the ellipse inside of it, right? But by ellipse, I mean this. I literally mean each front-facing plane has an ellipse, right? It's then, let's say this is the center, right? That's projected outward of this this front-facing plane. Also has an ellipse, which is slightly wider, right? And I have to think about that, but I also have to think about this one. And I also have to think about this one. And again, like these ellipses, I have to think about all 3, and I have to be like, where do the ends meet? Oh, that is my sphere. Wonderful, right? fuckery. Absolute fuckery. It's beautiful. But yeah, like, and again, I only have, it's been 54 minutes, so it's time to start seeing this, which I won't be able to, I'll be very honest, which I really won't be able to, because I'm already struggling with just seeing these center planes, right? But it's about seeing this, and now I have to draw the features. And again, right now, let me ghost, right, to see this center plane, see this center plane. And again, like, I haven't been able to see the cross sections as well at all. That's been very intuitive, and I'm trying to physically be like, fuck off with the intuition. Like, you have to see it, right? It's extremely difficult. Like, I'm literally trying to see this very clear in my mind. I'm trying to see this as explicitly clear in my mind as I can, right? And that is the mental model I'm building, which is not guesswork. It's literally a geometric reality. It is a fusion of 3D simulated space on the page in my mind, right? The combination, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but like, it is not fake. It is not guesswork. It is not half-assery. And there are many artists who can do half of this and create incredible portraits, very believable. But this is part of the thing where I'm enamored by pushing my brain to the absolute limit and to prove to myself that, hey, you can create a geometric simulation of 3D space in your mind and see it with such visceral accuracy that everything else will just be laid on top of that foundation, right? I believe, and I'm putting the work in towards creating that reality. It will simply take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours before I even make a face. And that's the reality I've accepted. I've accepted that reality, right? You just have to accept the reality that you want to achieve and the fidelity that you want to achieve. Simple as that. And you're capable of it, right? But anyways, I'm thinking about the 3 planes. My brain is dying. My brain is absolutely fucking dying. Can't think about the 3 planes, but I'm thinking really, and again, like, when I think about this center line is like this. That's what it's curved like. And I have to actively be like, no, zoom out and see it properly. Zoom out and see it properly. Zoom out and see it properly, right? Like, I have to, and again, like, and then this back over here of the center plane is like this, but it should be like this, right? This should be like this, right? So constant effort. Your brain will constantly fuck up, and you just feel good, and you'll be like, oh, no, you did that wrong. Okay, do it right. Okay, do it right again. And just constantly keep telling it to fuck off and do it correctly. Which is just sheer effort again. Sheer effort and straining that sheer effort. And again, like right now, the ellipse is just kind of meh, but I need to see the center plane, right? This center plane. Again, you can see like how I put my ellipse over here, but it's completely wrong for this front plane. It's this center, so it's over here, right? And the thing is, like, again, it's about what you can conceptualize versus what you can do. If you can conceptualize it, but you can't do it, that's where you need to go. If you can't even conceptualize what the fuck I'm talking about, or you understand it, but you're like, wait, but you also understand it's way beyond your limit, or it's this level of your limit, or it's a different percentage. Like, if you can just understand where your limit is as per the concepts that you're learning, then you'll know what part of that concept you need to go off on to remove it as a roadblock before you move on to the next part of the concept, right? And to give you a more tangible example, if you understand the concept of horizon lines and you understand the concept of vanishing points, but you cannot fucking draw a plane that's accurate in perspective for the life of you, that is your blocker before you move on to boxes, right? And many planes at many fucking angles with as many different types of vanishing points and with wide degrees, narrow degrees, right? Like as many different fucking angles as you can before you're like, all right, let's add the second plane or the third plane, right? And each fucking plane is hundreds of repetitions, you know? Each concept, each subsection of a concept is hundreds of repetitions, i.e. dozens and dozens of perhaps even hundreds of hours, right? Especially if you're below average or average like me, right? And that's not a narrative I tell myself, although like it's partly a narrative I tell myself to be like, yeah, underdog, all that shit, but it's just the truth, you know? It took me fucking hundreds of hours to get mediocre, so you too can define mediocrity as this, such that you hold your standards so high that this is mediocrity. I think this is okay, right? But like, you would define it as mediocrity to never forget the high standards that you have. B, work your fucking ass off to make your mediocrity look incredible to everybody else, right? Not that mine does, but if it does, well, I guess I've just proven my point a little bit, right? But not that it does. Stay humble, right? But I'm really trying to think about the ellipses now, right? I'm really trying to think about the ellipses now, especially this one's fucking evading me, right? But I'm really trying to think about it. This center one, right? And then, but I don't see this one, right? So I see there's always 2 planes. So I see this one projected outward, this ellipse, and then I see this one projected outward, this ellipse. But then now that I need to see the third one, that one's really difficult. And then this is, I guess, where my sphere is, right? And this is the hardest part, because the second I try connecting the corners of these ellipses, everything goes to shit. Literally everything goes to shit. And Jesus Christ, bro, it's so fucking hard. Because like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even see anything right now. I don't know what the fuck I'm pretending like I can, right? But I think, oh god, this is so fucking hard, bro. I think, yeah, okay, like this right around here. So it's something like this, like right around here. Okay, it's been 59 minutes, so I'm gonna rest my brain and then we're gonna just draw the face to the best of our ability. Whew, and then I'm going to draw through the form, right, and show you exactly what I'm trying to think about, which is the same shit that you see all over here. But again, drawing is thinking, and the more I have to think, the less I'm drawing physically, but really the more I am drawing, right? Because spatial reasoning is thinking, right? Like, and again, these hour-long videos, they're the foundation. This will prove it. Let's say about part 400. Part 400 is, let's say I start drawing relatively decent faces, right? That's probably 2 years from now, I believe. A year and a half to 2 years from now, so probably 2027 end or 2028. I'm really bad at timelines. You know, once this gets solidified, it's very possible that it will be much, much, much faster. And I'm just gonna keep going through the artwod portrait roadmap, right? Please go to fucking artwod, all right? But again, I feel as if like until I'm the GOAT, right? Or at least until I become a GOAT of just portraiture, and then the transferability to drawing literally anything else is very, very evident because I'm becoming a GOAT of portraiture through sheer spatial reasoning, right? I feel as if until then, my words, it's obvious, right? Like I don't deserve to get my word taken seriously until I've proven that my word can be taken seriously through evidence, right? Which is the work that I put in. I get that, but this is just me postulating, right? I'm just hypothesizing, thinking ahead, right? About when this will matter. Because every single video I put out on this channel of this archive of excellence of skill acquisition, which is the first, it's going to be the first and probably the largest archive of skill acquisition on the entire planet. That's just a fact. Nothing like this already exists, and nothing like this will exist for a very long time. By the time I'm already the GOAT 5, 10, 15 years from now, I have created a moat of sheer evidence, right? So, through constant effort, by the way, and I'll have completely demystified talent in art. I'll completely shat all over any of you dipshits who consistently believe in talent, because you're on video what is this, video 376 or 377, right? Of just my main videos, not even my streams, not even my shorts, I guess, if those count, the fucking useless shorts. I mean, I don't really care for them. Like, they're good. They're really, really good for beginners, but I don't really give much of a fuck about my shorts as a metric of my content. Anyways, it's a complete tangent. but yeah, like, what was I saying? Yeah, I was just hypothesizing when I'll get good at portraiture and when people will take me seriously, but yeah, until then, fuck it, we grind! Until then, we grind, right? So let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. And then we finish the job. Okay, let's try this. So there's like 6 steps to this, right? Which is first see the box, then see the inside. It's like first see the box, then see all the seen through forms of the box, then add all the cross sections of every single plane, seen and not seen inside the box. Then create the 3 plane intersection, 3 center plane intersection inside the box, right? Then put the ellipses inside the 3 plane intersection inside the box, and those must also be understood and visualized and intersected, right? Then draw the sphere, right? Connect the sphere from those intersections. Now we're on like what? Like this is fucking what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 5 layers. Right now I'm creating like 5 layers of spatial reasoning in my mind, right? And then the 6th layer, I think, 5th or 6th layer is the sphere, right? Connecting the sphere. And then the final layer is hold all that in your mind and think about the Loomis proportions of the sphere while drawing the features on top of it. And that is fucking gargantuanly difficult. Okay, I hope that really puts into perspective. Basically, no pun intended, perspective. But yeah, like, essentially, hold 5 to 6 layers of perspective in your mind, and then think about proportion while you're doing that, right? Hold the 5 to 6 layers of perspective in your mind, and then think about proportion, right? Think about proportion while you're actively trying to see these 3 intersections inside the box's cross sections, like all that fuckery seen through all that shit, right? And right now I can barely do it. This isn't guesswork, but this is basically I'm in complete output regression, right? Which is I'm trying to think and I can't, right? But that literally is the name of the game, right? So it's roughly like this, I believe. And this could be completely wrong, right? Because this really, really, really requires an intimate understanding of the intersections, which I don't have and I can't visualize and I don't really see that well. But, whew, this is like this is this one, and then this one. See, I'm even doing it wrong. And this one, right? Like this one right here, and then this one right here, right? And let's see, trying to connect all those three, because I can only see them one at a time, but trying to connect all three in my mind is killing my mind. Holy shit. This is amazing. And now I'm gonna try to just draw the features, bro. I'm just gonna think. I think this is where my edges of the sphere, and I think this is where the edges as well, like somewhere around here, right? This is where my two edges are, and then I think this is my sphere. So we're gonna start with this is the top of my sphere, I believe. I could be completely wrong. I most likely am completely wrong, because this is fucking killing my brain, right? Because I'm trying to think about those three intersections, those three planes, and the three intersections inside of it while I do this, right? But let's see, and then I'm trying to think about the Loomis proportions. So the forehead's here, let's see, and then yeah, the forehead's here. I think the nose is here. This is the edge of the face, and we're just gonna start with this eyebrow, and I'm gonna make it a lot larger, because last time I made it way too small, and that did fuck me up a little bit, right? But we'll try to make it a bit larger, right? I made the eyebrows too small. I made the eyes too small as well, right? So that's again my fault. But when I'm drawing these features, I'll be so completely honest, I cannot see anything. Like, I literally cannot see anything. And I think I made this nose. I always make the gap between the eyebrows a bit too large too. But again, like, do you see how everything goes to shit once spatial reasoning takes the forefront? My mind is in complete output regression, right? Complete output regression. Like, me drawing these features on top of the space that I'm trying to reason and doing it with accurate proportions is essentially a giant fuck you to my brain, right? That's basically what this is. It's a giant fuck you to my brain. So I hope you're giving your brain a giant fuck you as well, because this right here, this is what is creating the excellence, right? I am not excellent, but I'm saying this is the type of work that creates excellence, right? And I don't even think this nose makes fucking sense, because again, I did draw this in a different perspective. I did fuck it up, right? I think something like that. Fuck it, bro, whatever. Just, and then let's see if we got the eyes, if we can get the eyes right. And again, like, I need to take a step back and just try to calculate the center plane again and to see all of that while I do this, right? And it's extremely difficult, but I think at the very least I'm seeing about 5% glimpses, and then it went away. And then I see 5% glimpses, and then it went away, right? And obviously my line work is very subpar, but this is, like, if you want to know how far you can take your spatial reasoning when it comes to quote-unquote just portraiture, I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea of, like, oh, you can take it pretty fucking far. We can actually take it very, very far, right? And again, like, I don't see anything anymore because I'm just focusing on the reference and trying to get that down, right? But, and again, like, drawing these little details is also very difficult. Fucking Jesus Christ. Whatever, bro. But drawing these little details, I don't see anything when I draw these little details. Fuck, she looks cross-eyed. She looks retarded, bro. Oh my god. What have I done? Okay, there you go. Maybe that's it. Fuck this. Fuck this. That little dot looks retarded. She literally looks retarded. There you go. I think I made it slightly even, but still looks like a fucking mong, right? I love that word. I think it's is it a British slang? Right? I know this guy, Dexter Manning. He used to say it a lot. Funny bloke. He also got pissed at me because I told him to stop mouth breathing. He called me a loser, which is sad because I really respected Dexter. But either way, and these lips I'm gonna get completely off, and they're gonna look absolutely fucking retarded as they do right now. But I can't really think. As you can see, I like my brain just can't think anymore. Look at her. She looks fucking dumb. She looks dumb as fuck right now. Bro, these are like DSLs to the max. These are like fucking fake DSLs. Holy shit. So now you can see, like, I can't think. I can't think. Just leave it. Just leave it. Oh, this looks so fucking shit. That's amazing. Bro, this is a fucking Neanderthal. And her lips are way too big. Holy shit, now I see the proportion issue. You see, so like, I can't think about proportion. My brain's dead. My brain's dead. I can't think about anything. This is Michael Jackson. Pre-surgery, of course. But Jesus Christ, this is this is. I don't even know what I'm doing. I literally don't know what I'm doing. And then I think her jaw goes up like that. Whatever, bro. Whatever. That's not the fucking main point anymore. So yeah, watch me become great. Oh god, fuck. Okay, hope that scared you. Okay, it's been an hour and 9 minutes. I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating with how much I fucking tried during this entire session. But either way, let's actually draw it through and show you guys what I was actually trying to think about while I was drawing. Right, so let's draw through the form. Right. Under the blood, yeah, under the blood. My girlfriend showed me that shit was hilarious. See me, under the blood. Right, hilarious. But this is the back plane. Like, this is literally what I'm trying to see. You're gonna see I'm gonna get fucking confused because all the lines are gonna confuse me. It's funny, I have an easier time understanding it when I'm not actually drawing everything out because I'm confusing myself, right? But this is what I need to do. And honestly, like, this is still a good spatial reasoning exercise because it's like, can you still understand the space when he has to draw the space? And you're gonna see, like, my lines are also pretty inaccurate, but like, this is the back side, right? This is the back shot that we give to ourselves. And this is good. Like, actually, this is also a good challenge. This is still also really grinding my brain because it forces me to think about, like, these are all obstructions now, right? You can see I even off-center that vertical line, right? And it's not exactly accurate, but this is also all obstructions to, oh, there you go. See, like, I completely lost it. I thought this black line was the front, but these are all obstructions, right? These are all obstructions, and I need to see through the form. So that's the other side. Right, so that's the other side. That's the first step. That's like what I'm trying to see, right? Like, I'm trying to see through the form. Well, this is technically part of the second step, right? And then here we're gonna do this, right? This diagonal, and then this diagonal. Fuck, see, I fucked that diagonal up. And then this vertical, which is nice because it's connected. And then this horizontal right here, right? These are all part of the cross section. And then we do this side diagonal right yonder. This is, again, like, I want to be very clear, this is literally everything I'm trying to see. This side diagonal, and this one right here. Screw you guys, and going here. Oh, fuck, this one right here. See, kind of fucking fuck that line up completely. But yeah, that one right there. And then same thing, this diagonal. Fuck that diagonal, right? And then this center, which is connected to that one, and you can see it's connected to the back one there too. And then this horizontal, which is connected to this plane. Right, okay, see, so that is the first step. That is what I'm trying to see. Okay, this is the first step of what or the first two steps of what I'm trying to do. Or the three steps technically, because we got seeing through the form, we got seeing the cross axis of every single form, and then we got seeing the center planes. Right, this center plane, and then this center plane, like this one back here. Right, so you can see how that's a fucking headache, bro. Looking at it gives me a goddamn headache. Can you imagine trying to visualize this? Right? The answer is you probably can't, but then you will, because if I can do it, you can do it. A good inspiration. And then now is the fourth and fifth step, which is the ellipses, right? Seeing the ellipses inside this plane accurately. So something like this. See, fucking pen quality, i.e. my penmanship is garbage. Something like that, and then this one yonder. Let's see, bring it all the way, something like that. And then this horizontal one, right, which is this one. And see, like, I already fucked it up, but hopefully this gives you the goddamn point. It's like in here. Whee. And honestly, these are probably not as good. Like, I probably could make these center planes a lot better. The center ellipses a lot better. But the point is, like, and then this creates the sphere, right? This creates the sphere, and I guess I can draw that sphere in black to really give you an idea, but like, and then this is the sphere, right? It's just connecting along the edges. I don't know why my voice sounds like that, but it's just connecting along the edges. Oh, I actually did get the corner relatively right for this. See, but this is literally the foundation I'm building, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a million mistakes, because like, the more mistakes my boxes have, like, when I draw them, the more mistakes of course, everything else has. But you can see this actually creates a pretty fucking perfect circle, right? Like, that's a pretty decent circle, even though I'm not drawing it that well, but it's a pretty, not circle, sorry. Yeah, perfect circle, yeah, which is a sphere. But Yeah, that is the foundation I'm building. And I actually did get the corners pretty decently. What the fuck? That's not bad. So I guess I saw a little bit more than I gave myself credit for, right? But, whew, brain hurting, right? Balls depleted. I don't know what other stupid joke can I make. But yeah, that is the drawing session. That is the drawing session, right? So with that being said, my brain is dead, bro. I hope I got something across to anybody, right? I hope I got something across to anybody. But yeah, spatial reasoning is a bitch, isn't it? I'm just tired, bro. I'm gonna rest my brain and then I'm literally gonna sleep because it's 1:50 a.m. So with that being said, I hope you tried a shit ton. I hope you did your absolute best. And with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me my